Let us start with coherence and cohesion. Now, before discussing about coherence and cohesion, let us think about a paragraph when we are reading a bad paragraph. When we are reading a bad paragraph, what we find? We find lack of connections of ideas. The sentences in the paragraphs are jumping from one topic to another. So, single topic and single idea is not maintained. That is a bad paragraph. Second, we find lack of linking words or transitional words. For example, linking words are the words that link sentences, link words, link even paragraphs. So, and, but, or, however are the transitional words. So, there are lack of such words. So, we find disjointed paragraph. Then we have lack of synonyms because synonyms give richness and meaning to the paragraph. So there are no synonyms used. Then misuse of pronouns because pronouns are actually used in place of nouns. They refer to nouns. So if misuse pronouns, the meaning will change. Misuse of articles. So these are the issues of a bad paragraph when we might have come across such paragraphs in which these are the problems. So, if there are these problems, we can say that the paragraph lacks coherence and paragraph also lacks cohesion. We will deal with both separately, but if the paragraph is really good and if the paragraph or the text has coherence and cohesion, all the sentences in the paragraph have a single idea focus, have a single focus. If the paragraph is on pollution, the sentences are on the focus of pollution. The topic sentence guides the development of the sentences in the paragraph. Means generally, first or second sentence is normally the topic sentence. Means it gives the idea about the actual topic of the paragraph. The sentences in the paragraph should be relevant to each other and support the topic sentence, means the main sentence. There are use of pronouns, there are use of synonyms correctly, there are use of articles correctly, there are repetition of some keywords that indicate that the whole paragraph is linked with each other and it is as a whole it is united, it is one. The paragraph is also, the sentences are also systematically organized. So that is a paragraph with good coherence and cohesion. Now let us understand the cohesion and coherence, both the concepts clearly. First, what is cohesion? Cohesion is the glue. Glue, we know what is glue. Glue that holds a piece of writing together. Generally, we use glue to hold two pieces of paper together. So, cohesion helps writing to stick together. In other words, if a paper is cohesive, means writing is cohesive, it sticks together from sentence to sentence, from paragraph to paragraph. So, cohesion is the sense of connection and flow as one sentence leads to the next sentence. It involves the tying together of old information and new information. It is actually connection is made by using some of the techniques. There are some techniques of cohesion. We use linking words, we use references, we use pronouns, we use many things. Cohesion simply means flow. When we are reading a paragraph, there should be a flow like a river. We should not feel that there is some stop or there is some break in idea, there is some break in thought. If the paragraph is cohesive, there is a flow when we read it. Cohesion is nothing but grammatical and lexical relationship between different elements of a text. Now you know very well grammatical relationship. How we make grammatical relationship? By using conjunctions, by using transitional words, by using pronouns, by articles. So these are the things that is grammatically, by sentence structure, by coordinating, etc. conjunctions. So that is grammatical relation. Second is lexical relation. Now lexical means words and their meaning. Lexicon means words and with its meaning. Now what happens in any language? We have many lexical relations. For example, there is synonym relation, means any one word has its synonyms. There is antonym relation, any one word has its antonym word as well. There is hyponymy relation, means a word has actually a category, that is it is representing. Daffodil is representing a flower. So that is lexical relationship. Means if you are a good writer, you must know these lexical relations and you must know how to use grammatical relations. So a close relationship is based on grammar or meaning between two parts of a sentence or a large piece of writing is called cohesion. Right? Simply, if I want to put it simply, cohesion simply means you are connecting the sentences, connecting the words to make the paragraph reading easy, flow like a river. I can give you some examples of sentence without cohesion and sentence with cohesion. Now see, the blue color sentences are without cohesion and the same sentences are written, they are called with cohesion. How? He ate the cornflakes and he drank the milk. Now these two sentences are different. But if we use then, the reading becomes with a good flow. In PPT presentations, we have transition effect. Means from one slide to the second slide, we move like a flow. In the same way, here, then is the word that gives us the transition effect. One sentence to the other, two sentences are connected like it made the connection and it made it easy for us to read. He ate the cornflakes, then he drank the milk. Second sentence. I would like to thank you, all of you, for coming. We can make it like this. Finally, because this is the end sentence, we should use the word finally. Finally, I would like to thank you all for you coming. That is good. Then, no students arrived, he went home. Two sentences. But if we use so, it connects the sentences. No students arrived, so he went home. He bought a hat and some sunscreen. He still got sunburnt. We use here but to connect the sentence. He bought a hat and some sunscreen, but he still got sunburnt. Right? So this is how cohesion can be made. There are different techniques of cohesion that we will discuss. There are 5 major types of cohesion in English language. Means 5 different methods. First is by reference. Reference is always to something. It is a linguistic form to identify or refer to something. For example, we use a word to refer to something else. We use pronoun to refer to a noun. For example, yesterday I bought a book. I will give it to my sister. Now you can see it is used for book. Now it is actually used for a book. I bought a book. I will give the book to my sister. You can use it. So it refers back to a book. So if you use it, automatically this sentence is connected with this sentence. So this is how reference can be useful for cohesion. There are different ways of making such references. We can use personal pronouns, as I told you. We can use all type of personal pronouns: I, me, mine, it, he, she, her. I give you example. I talk to Mary. She is very friendly. Now she is the reference. Personal pronouns like I, he, she, mine, hers, his, these are possessive pronouns. These are possessive determinants. Mine, your, her. So we can use such words. Then we have demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative reference means they demonstrate something, means it is near or it is away from us. What is the location of something? For example, these, that, those. This shows the proximity, the nearness, and that, those, there shows the distance from the speaker. So, if we use such words, it will show the reference to something. Then we have comparative reference, means refer by means of identity or similarity between the things. We can use the word same or equal. It is the same flower as we saw at the campus. So we use same and as to refer to something. In comparative degree also we refer to something. The little dog bark as loud noisily as the big one. Right? As shows the comparison. So it is comparative reference. It is referring to something, comparing to something. Then second technique is substitution. Substitution means replacing a word. Means you are replacing the whole word or whole sentence or whole phrase. They are also called filler. For example, I never saw a purple cow. I hope to see one. Now, one actually has the replacement of the word a purple cow. We can use a purple cow here, but instead of that, we use the word one. We frequently use this one or ones, these are the words. Let's go and see the bears. The polar ones are over that rock. Polar ones. Ones is actually used for the bears. Right? Verbal substitution. Verbal substitution means we are using verbs in place of actual verbs. We generally use do, generally use be, or generally use have. For example, the words did not come to the same as they used to do. When I use this used to do, I have used it in place of the verb come. Then we have causal substitution. Causal is the causal is the replacing a whole sentence means. Close means a sentence. For example, you are replacing a whole sentence. Is there going to be an earthquake? Yes, it says so. It says so means what does it say? It says that yes, there will be earthquake. The full sentence, full clause is replaced by the word it says so. Right? So a small word can replace the whole clause. So that is called substitution technique. Third technique is ellipsis. Ellipsis, as I told you, is the omission of letter, omission of words that we have learned in the punctuation marks. So it is the omission of letters. For example, what percentage was left? If we answer 20, we have omitted the word 20 percentage. We do not say the word percentage, right? So we can use this ellipsis technique. What percentage? What is the distance? And if I answer 20, I have actually omitted to 20 kilometer. Kilometer word is omitted. So we can use ellipsis for that. It is a part of cohesion. Then we have nominal ellipsis, means whole noun is replaced. Here are 13 cards. Take any. Any here actually means 13 cards. So take any of the 13 cards. 13 card word is uh, ellipted, means omitted. You can see here the hyphen indicates the words omitted. Smith was the first person to leave. I was the second. Here, person is omitted. Which hat will you wear? This is the best. Hat is omitted. We don't say hat, we just say this is the best. So we have omitted the words. That is also a technique of cohesion. Whole verb is also omitted. Have you been swimming? Yes, I have. Actually, the answer should be yes, I have been swimming. So, been swimming is left. So, whole verb can be ellipted. Is he complaining? Yes, he may be. Complaining is left out. Were you laughing? No, I was not. Laughing was left out. See the short answers. So that helps you understand the paragraph and that gives reference to something else. Readers find the reference, so that is good. That helps cohesion. Closer ellipsis means entire sentence is left out. Smith was going to take part, but somebody telephoned and asked to see him urgently. So he had to withdraw. What to withdraw? To take part. Smith was going to take part was withdrawn. So the whole sentence is left out. So that why ellipsis is one of the techniques. Then lexical cohesion means the vocabulary. We use such vocabulary. We repeat some words. We use synonyms. We use antonyms. We use subordinate or nouns. So that also helps us. That is called lexical cohesion. I give you an example. This is a paragraph. This is a very where cohesion use paragraph. For example, pollution of our environment has occurred for centuries, but it has become a significant health problem. Only within the last century, atmospheric pollution contributes to respiratory disease and to lung cancer in particular. Other health problems directly related to air pollutants include heart disease and eye irritation and so on. Now see, some words are repeated: pollution, pollution, pollutants, health problem, disease, disease. You see, when some words are repeated, the paragraph becomes cohesive. It focus on single idea. So that is also an example of that. Then collocation, cohesion that is achieved through the association of lexical items that regularly co-occur, means two words generally are always with each other. For example, hair is always related to comb, reader is always related to writer, door with window, chair with table. So if we use these combinations, the paragraph will be cohesive automatically. Peace should be used with war, bee with honey. So if we use such words which are actually related with each other, the paragraph will be cohesive. That is called collocation. Then last technique is conjunction. We have conjunctions to connect sentences, phrases or clauses. Some conjunctions help us make paragraph cohesive. Additive means they add to the sentence. We use and, also, moreover, in addition, right? So we use such words to add more information. Then we have contrasting conjunction, that is called adversative, but, yet, on the other hand, however. These are the contrasting conjunctions. Johnny wants to learn French, but he has no enough time. So, but is the contrasting conjunction. So, conjunction help us make paragraph cohesive. Then we have causal relations that include the result, reason, and purpose. We have yet, still, though, despite, however, even so, all the same, nevertheless. These are the coordinating conjunctions that join the clauses with the main sentence. See, it was raining and I didn't get any transport, so I returned home. So is the word that we use for causal connection. He was very tired. Nevertheless, he went on walking. Though he was tired, he went on walking. Right? Coordinating conjunctions are also used. They are used for joining clauses, as I told you. For, and, not, but, yet. These are the words. Whether, as if, although, while, though. Right? These are the conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions or subordinating conjunctions, both. And, not, but, yet, or they are coordinating conjunctions. And though, while, if, where, as if they are subordinating conjunctions. Now, this is a grammar topic. Though he seemed to be tired, he did not refuse to go. Now, though is the here is it is the subordinating conjunctions because one sentence is dependent on the main sentence. Second one is what is coherence. Coherence is now in cohesion, we found that linking of the sentences, linking of the words, how it helps. Now, linking is cohesion, but here coherence means single idea. Making ideas logically connect to each other. Now, this coherence is related to idea and cohesion is related to structure. See, for example, coherence means the structure of an essay. You are making a sense of the text. Coherence refers to a certain logical interconnection between the sentences. Single idea. For example, there is logical presentation. In an essay, there is a perfect structure. In a letter, there is a logical presentation structure. In an article, in a report, there is a structure that you should present in that manner your ideas. Right? So, coherence actually means the structure of presentation, how you present. It is not related to actually grammar. So, how will you present a paragraph if you want to make it coherent? You can use headings, subheadings, paragraphs, layout, punctuations, presentation, speech bubbles, timelines, flowcharts, bullets, box information, short sentences. So, this will help you make your paragraph presentation coherence. What is done for coherence? We can use repetition to link ideas to sentences. We can use synonyms. We can use transition words. Transition words are the words that goes from one sentence to the other with a flow. They are also used in cohesion, also used in coherence. They are like also, but, however, therefore. Even some sentence patterns also help us, right? For example, uh, same sentence if repeated. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. See how the parallel sentence patterns help us make it coherent. Parallel structure means using similar grammatical constructions between words in sentences. Now, this is not coherent sentence. Sarah likes to jump, running, skate. Same structure of grammar should be used. Sarah likes jumping, running, and skating. That is coherent sentence. This is called parallel structure. Same structure must be there, ing. Then we have transitional devices, first, later, then. Now move to the other idea that is called transitional device. Look, coherence is related to idea and cohesion is related to words and joining words and sentences. That is coherence and cohesion.